everyone, it's Addie. I am here today with Jeffrey Lorien. He is the co-founder of Zhi Tea, and he's also known as Dr. Oolong around town. You might have seen him at various events, slinging his tea martinis. And we're here today to talk about some basics of tea.
The differences between the types of tea are in how it's processed between the time it's picked and the time it's fully dried and ready for market.
So all tea comes from the same basic plant.
That's exactly right. There are many varietals of that plant. There are several thousand varietals that are starting to be identified. But the tea plant is the Camellia sinensis plant.
So the white tea, what does that mean?
The white tea is the new spring growth of the tea plant. The little bud and the first leaves. And that tea is dried in the sun, and that's the processing it gets. Green tea, very similarly processed in terms of it's picked and it's quickly dried. Many green teas are actually fired, like steam fired, like wok dried.
To speed it drying.
That's exactly right. They're like pressed into the pan and dried. You can see the leaves often get this flat kind of...
So after green, and then does it go straight to black? Is there something in between?
There is something in between. That is the Oolong tea, which is...
That's you,
which is what we're
Oolong.
That's right. This is my favorite kind of tea. This is what we're drinking here.
And why is it Oolong? Why is it not color? How does that work?
Oolong actually directly translated means black dragon. And black dragon is a wide spectrum of teas. They're almost like green tea, all the way to almost like black tea.
Okay.
So the magic of oolong teas is that in the manufacturing, once they're picked, and they're often rolled in drums and bruised, or hand rolled and then dried a little bit, and then rolled again, and then dried again, and then fired.
So they're getting a lot more attention.
That's exactly right. They get a lot of attention, and each tea master and each farm have different methods of making oolong teas. So there's several different types of subcategories of oolong teas, and then there's the personal artistic component. So the most artisan artistic teas are in the oolong category. Black tea is completely oxidized, so it's allowed to, they used to call it fermentation, it's actually oxidization. They're allowed to just completely wither and wilt and turn black.
Does that mean that they not only have a stronger flavor, but they have a higher caffeine level as well? Or is that a misconception?
That it's generally been thought that that's the case. That's why it has higher caffeine, although there are recent studies showing there are a number of factors, which we probably won't go into right now.
But they do have, the black tea is the most caffeinated.
Generally speaking, yes.
But in comparison to a cup of coffee, is it like half as much caffeine?
It's about a third as much caffeine.
Okay.
A cup of black tea, and then you move down the spectrum, and white tea can have like about a tenth or something like that.
Wow.